Roxamore Sports Network starts 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you feel that? Tell me, can you feel that? You see it coming? Yeah, let me help you with your vision, they losing their sight here. Time to send the world a message they might hear. Like Meek Mills, I'm making it quite clear. I'm chasing my dreams and fighting my nightmares. I'm going real hard, I'm talking words you understand, I'm talking real bars. I'm going everywhere, you know I'm talking real far. Yeah, it's time to raise a toast to this thing to the love the most. As I go from coast to coast, I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go and light a fuse and I set to let it blow. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Time to check my status and the GOAT is what it be. And you know I'm over 30, so my level is a G. And I may be from the hood, but I'm way beyond these streets. And my pockets hate a diet, so they always down to eat. Even though they screaming fame, and it's always spelling me. And I'll never hang it up till my mission is complete. And I'm looking at you haters, I suggest you take a seat. Cause it's all fun and games to a killer show his teeth. This is for them cats that be screaming homies. Claiming that you're real, but we know you're phony. Now I'm chillin' with my sons, they my one and only. Like the Turner brothers, yeah, we screamin' lions only. Step into this den, I welcome all who will dare. Never met a David, tell me whom shall I fear? Gotta rep the nation, black and gold is what I wear. If you look to your left, to your right, I'm everywhere. I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow, when I go with light a fuse.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Roxamore Sports Network. We are here and we are live for the host team, Woodland Hills Wolverines, to take on the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Travis Newton here alongside Karen Hall back on the call after a very exciting previous game between Math Civics and Science Mighty Elephants and the National Christian Eagles, which ended in a buzzer beater shot by Nassim Poplar. But that game's over and we're ready to get back to this one. You got a chance to speak with both coaches. What are you seeing from both of these teams?
Yeah, so Woodland Hills, they have to defend the three-point shot, really cut down on turnovers. Coach Matt Verjanik said they're averaging like 20 turnovers in this tournament. They had 23 on Friday, so wasn't real excited about that. And they got to keep them off the board. They're going to be undersized, so they're going to have to box out. And then on the other side, Coach Mastrioni, he just talked about really defending the inside of Woodland Hills, even though they are undersized, and being able to get up and down and compete with them on that fast-paced game.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's meet the student athletes who will provide the entertainment for us this evening. First, let's meet the starters for the visiting Bethel Park Blackhawks.
So we welcome you back to the Roxamore Sports Network. You were just talking about the Woodland Hills team struggling with the turnovers, and it has been the Achilles heel for this team all season. We had a rough start in the first game with Woodland Hills, and Coach Verjanik told me it's a young team, it's something that we got to fix. And so far, it really hasn't been fixed, and we're 14 games in, and the youth experience thing doesn't really matter after 14 games because you're that deep into a season. You're basically a sophomore at that point, and there are a lot of seniors on this team. So look for them to really take care of the ball tonight. Think about their passes, but not think too much, because when you overthink, that always leads to trouble.
Right, and you can't really say, although Coach Verjanik is in his second stint with the Woodland Hills Wolverines, I mean, they're in mid-season, as you talked about, so being accustomed to this new system, you can't use that as a reason why we're turning the ball over. So they got to be more deliberate and more precise in handling the basketball and not be in a rush.
So we'll go ahead and take you through the starting lineup, starting with the visiting Bethel Park Blackhawks. We have number 3, Ronald Zeiler, number 4, Ryan Mice, number 10, Cooper Shoemaker, number 13, Anthony Chickett, and number 24, Thomas Dorenzo.
Yeah, so for Woodland Hills, we have number 0, Deontay Williams, number 4, Jihad Denard, number 11, Angelo Reddy, number 15, Jeremy Thomas, and number 3, Kyrie Hainsworth.
And if you are a follower of this Woodland Hills team, you will notice a little bit of a difference in the starting lineup. The freshman Angelo Reddick starting in place of Velton Kinney. Velton Kinney is perfectly fine, not injured, but they're just choosing to go with the freshman today. And they're going a little bit bigger in the paint tonight with 15, Jeremy Thomas starting things out in place of Rayshawn Robertson. So a little bit of an alteration here on the roster. Woodland Hills 2-0 so far as the host of this tournament. Looking to finish it off 3-0 and on a high mark. They started the season slow and they picked up a little bit about 4 games in, and then they went right back to their old ways. So look for them to continue to shoot the ball. They have some really good shooters on this team with Velton Kinney. Kyrie Hainsworth is very efficient in the mid-range game. Look for them to hit shots and really contest with a little bit more size by Bethel Park.
And you can see already with the coaches, both head coaches are seasoned. Coach Verjanik has over 20-plus years total in coaching, period. And Coach Mastrioni from Bethel Park, he's been at Bethel Park 5 years, and he has 15 years overall of high school coaching.
And you mentioned with Coach Verjanik in his second stint, he took a pretty big break, too. The last time he coached this team was in the 1994-1995 season. So that was a bit of a break for Coach Matt Verjanik, but he's back. He tells me he's better than ever.
Yeah, he went out on a high note. He was 24-4 overall in 94-95. His last season had only lost 1 game in section. So he's back and ready, and he's going. He just want to get his players up speed with him.
So we'll see. Woodland Hills High School breaking out the new gray jerseys. Bethel Park in the black and orange. Here we go from Woodland Hills High School, the second to last game on this Sunday night from the 2020 MLK Showcase. It'll be Bethel Park starting with the ball. Ryan Mice at the point guard position.
And we have two leading scorers in Western Pennsylvania for Bethel Park. That's Mice, number 4, and Dorenzo, number 24. So already 24 started us off.
And on the start there, Jeremy Thomas, a little slow of feet, allowed the baseline drive for an easy layup. And now Bethel Park settling into their defense here. They're in a man, but they're definitely sagging down deep into that paint to make it look like a zone.
Right, so again, we talked about that in some other games today, that, force them to shoot it from the outside. You can see it, the defense has 2 feet in the paint.
Deontay Williams to the freshman Reddick. He's a little bit long on that jumper. And now Bethel Park back on the run.
Well, and on this end of the floor defensively, Coach Verjanik says, they have to defend the three-point line because Bethel Park is efficient in not only just shooting but scoring from the arc.
So good ball movement early on in this possession with the 2-0 lead for Bethel Park. Working out now a deep jumper from 3 to top of the key. Kyrie Hainsworth went up for it. And now Deontay Williams pushing the issue and will draw a foul on the body.
So offensively, when you have 2 players who are leading scorers in Western Pennsylvania, that means they'll put it up. Like they're offensively minded from anywhere on the floor.
And I used to play in an offense like that, really mimicked off of West Liberty, which is a prominent Division II school.
Yes.
Very efficient offense, and it's built on running the court one and shooting a lot of threes too. Defense always isn't the first priority in an
Right.
offense like that, but if you like scoring, it's a pretty fun offense to be a part of.
Yes.
So now Woodland Hills is going to set it up, and Angelo Reddick's going to try another three. He can't find the mark. 0 for 2 from downtown already.
So Mice is averaging 23 points per game. And as I mentioned, one of the 2 leading scorers in Western Pennsylvania.
And Ronald Zeiler showing off that smooth shot motion, rising above the defense and tickling Twine on the three-pointer. Quickly a 5-point lead here for Bethel Park.
Yeah, and those are the 3-point shots that Coach Verjanik is concerned about. That was his major concern coming into tonight's game.
And so far, a pretty stagnant offense here for Woodland Hills. A lot of dribble handoff, but not much movement inside, as that's not his specialty. Tried to bank it home. Jeremy Thomas, the offensive rebound, and cleans it up after the miss by Jihad Denard.
Nice soft touch for a big guy. Nice soft touch.
They kick it up once again. You got to get a hand up on the shooter there. Now Bethel Park.
Good help. That was good help by the defense.
And now a three taken by Cooper Shoemaker. That's off back rim. Kyer Hainsworth, the rebound, now attacking. There's that mid-range jumper. He loves it off to the left. The big man, Jeremy Thomas, fighting for it, scrumming. But Bethel Park, the Blackhawks, come out with it.
It's a lot of passing and cutting on the offensive end for Bethel Park.
You can tell why they have such an efficient offense with a lot of scores, 2 of the top scorers in the Whippeal. As a turnover there, Deontay Williams comes out with it, and here comes Jihad Denard, a blocking foul. So Denard, who struggles at the free throw line, will go to the line for 2.
Well, I like the aggressive play. And Woodland Hills may be defending, but their hands are out and their feet are moving. That's always a good opportunity to get deflection and steals.
We've seen struggles from the charity stripe all season long for Jihad Denard. It's hard to tell on the camera, but from our angle, you can see it clearly. He lines up distinctly on the right side there on that free throw line. A little bit of overcompensation maybe, but they've definitely been trying to work on him with his shot there. It's just been a struggle this year. He was dead on line with that one, but just a little bit long. So the score 5-3, it's a Bethel Park lead as they get set right back into their offense. Thomas Dorenzo went up with the left hand there, had it deflected away. Now Deontay Williams looks like he may have got away with a walk. Hangs it up on the rim, no good. Rebound to the Blackhawks.
So I like the pace of the game right now. Like both teams, it's fast, but it's controlled. And you can see actual offenses happening on both ends of the floor for both teams.
Dorenzo going to try it again. The big man, Thomas, will foul him. So going to the line for the first time will be the Bethel Park Blackhawks. And now we'll get Rayshawn Robertson, typically a starter here on this team, coming up to the scores table and getting ready to check in for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Dorenzo stands at 6'4", so they do have some good size for Bethel Park.
And it's really consistent size for Bethel Park. You don't see anyone that's 6'9" or anything like that, but you see 6'2" to 6'4" pretty much throughout their starting lineup.
And 6'4" and taller, to be able to step outside the 3 and have consistent range like that, yeah, that's pretty impressive to add that into your game, into your offensive game.
So very soft full court pressure here for Bethel Park, making the Wolverine ball handlers think about it as they bring it up. Deontay Williams passing to Rayshawn Robertson, who takes it strong through contact and gets the bucket to go.
Yeah, you know, I've had an opportunity to work with Rayshawn in an organization here in Pittsburgh throughout the summer. And actually, he and his brother are twins, Rayshawn and Raylon, and 2 different style of plays, where Rayshawn is a perimeter and inside, and his brother strictly post play.
So answering right back were the Blackhawks. A nice bucket there by Ryan Mice. And now Rayshawn Robinson with it. the jump shot isn't his specialty, but he is a great finisher. But a turnover there, expecting Deontay Williams to kind of come down to the three-point line. And a little bit of miscommunication there as Velton Kinney will check in now. It really seems like a sluggish look to this team right now. A lot of people with poor body language, and there's really no reason for that as we're just starting this game. Maybe they weren't happy about having to wait for that double overtime game before, but definitely shouldn't have this mindset for this Woodland Hills team this early.
Well, you know, in a game that you're watching of a double overtime and you play next, that should get you really hyped up. Like, you should be ready, already sweating, ready to go, because that game was exciting, and you get to go out there and play and do the same. You know, create the same results for your team.
But then again, they haven't had that spark plug in Velton Kinney in the starting lineup, so let's see if he can get him going. He's definitely likes to hound people on the defensive side and is always capable of stretching the court by hitting the three.
Yeah, well, that picks up the team, right? So you're sluggish, you're moving, you're making some plays, but you can tell how lethargic is happening. You're not really in rhythm.
And definitely not a good strategy thus far to send Bethel Park to the line, because there's a pretty good chance if they can make the three ball and score at such a high rate, they're probably going to be able to hit their free throws. They now have doubled the lead of Woodland Hills. It's 10-5 in the early parts here of the first quarter, 2:40 remaining.
Right, and it happens quickly.
Angelo Reddick's trying to force it into Rayshawn Robertson. And this really is a guard-dominated team. 1 through 3 could play the point guard position.
Yes.
Velton Kinney's a very dominant ball handler. Deontay Williams really plays a typical point guard position, doesn't do too much scoring, but is nice at facilitating. And then Kyrie Hainsworth, when he's in as well, kind of fits that point guard description as well.
Well,
So Rayshawn Robinson misses the first. That one rolls in and out as well. Jihad Denard had his hands on that rebound, but lost it to the Bethel Park Blackhawks, and now they're coming, looking to get an opportunity here on the offensive side. And now a deep three once again by Mice off front iron, but an offensive rebound. So another foul on the Wolverines. That's already 3 fouls here in the first period, and now they're going to bring in the youngster here for Woodland Hills. It'll be number 14, Timothy Jenkins, a 6'1" sophomore guard.
Yeah, you can tell the offense for Bethel Park, it runs through Mice and it runs through Dorenzio.
So Anthony Chickett gives it up, a nice ball movement, gets it inside to the newly substituted player in Maxwell Blank. And right away, Coach Matt Verjanik not happy, and really the attitude of his team right now, a lot of long faces, and we're early on in this one. So from this first quarter thus far, what are you seeing from Woodland Hills offense that's really been stale so far?
Yeah, well, the body language equals how they're moving on the court. So offensively, you don't have a lot of movement. You have more dribbling. I mean, the passes are really, they're not crisp passes, and they're not passing with a purpose. There's no offensive purpose right now. Whereas Bethel Park, they're looking very sharp. They got their eyes up and they're setting screens, and players are being rewarded for those great screens with good passes and scores.
And a good sign there from the senior leader, Rayshawn Robertson. He said, guys, let's pick it up. And they need to. This team coming out extremely stale, both on the offensive and defensive side, and really not into it. And we see a turnover here coming out of the timeout.
Right. So in that situation, you know, you have to take ownership of you not being ready to play out of a timeout. No excuse for that type of turnover.
And I certainly hope not, but it may be a possibility that this negative attitude is because of the because Rayshawn Robertson and Velton Kinney not being in the starting lineup. I just hope that's not the case.
Well, here's the thing. 5 players have to start. 5 players have to start. It's what you do when you're out on the court. Not how much time you got, but what did you do with that time? You can play 40 minutes and didn't do anything. You can play 5 minutes and have a great stat line.
Jihad Denard going to poke that one away. Woodland Hills known for sticking into their man-to-man defense, although sometimes they do sink into the 2-3. We're going to get a host of substitutes now checking in. Maxwell Blank alongside Ronald Zeiler. On their ways back in the game here. And that three-pointer rattles home. Thomas Dorenzo showing the nice touch once again from beyond the arc.
Yeah, Dorenzo, he's averaging 21. That's like 1-2 combination of scoring leaders in Western Pennsylvania. That's the Western Pennsylvania, not the WPIL.
And Velton Kinney, a clean-looking shot, puts it up with the left hand down on that short corner baseline. Gonna give him another open look, foot on the line, won't get it to go. Pushed out, oh, and a great feed down, so the no-look, little backhand pass gets it to his teammate for an easy 2.
But that's called moving without the ball. You watch Dorenzo, he missed a shot, his teammate got the rebound, and instead of standing, he moved to the open space and ended up getting a basket.
And here comes Bethel Park back on the run again. They have a 2-on-1, the give, the take, the foul, the bucket, and a three-point play chance here for the Bethel Park Blackhawks as they move out to an early lead, 19-7, and a chance to make it 20.
Yeah, right now what you're seeing, you got a team of Woodland Hills boys playing, but they're individuals right now. They're not in sync. They're not in sync. And they, as you mentioned, Travis, they started off very sluggish. They came out with no fire, no energy.
And it's really disappointing to see this program trying to pick itself back up. They lost their true best player that the school has really ever seen in Keandre Bowles, who was averaging nearly 30 points a game. And I know that's got to be tough to lose him, but you got to find people who are wanting to play as a team. And really they haven't, for Woodland Hills, they haven't found someone that's going to be their consistent scorer like Keandre Bowles was. And on the other side of that, they haven't been playing well as a team. So those two combinations lead to losing basketball, unfortunately, for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, but, you know, players graduate every year.
Yeah, they do.
So no one's going to be in high school forever. And whether you average 30 points or 15 assists, there's a day when you and your teammates know that that was your last game as high school player.
And, of course, Keandre Bowles moved on to Barton Community College, where he's helping them out now. Definitely a great addition for that team. So after the baseline inbounds, a step-back 3 looked good off the release, but at the buzzer, the score, a 13-point lead for the Bethel Park Blackhawks. 20-7 over the Woodland Hills Wolverines, who are still looking sluggish even after a timeout. We'd like to remind you that today's game is presented by Cager's Custom Artwork. Get your custom logos and artwork done for your home or business with Cager's Custom Artwork. You can find them on Facebook at Cliff Cager or give them a call at 412-915-6873.
Well, Travis, right now, there's nothing about X and O's that's hurting Woodland Hills. They need an injection in attitude, right?
They do, and let's give some credit to Bethel Park. They've come out. We know they have scores, but they're running their offense to a T and doing a great job of playing team basketball. Maybe Coach Matt Verjanik should suggest, look at what they're doing. That's what we need to start doing.
Right, and scoring helps. Being able to get a couple loose ball helps. Being able to get a couple of rebounds. You're always going to struggle on one part of the game. You got to make it up on another part of the game that will then pick you and your teammates up.
And I'd really like to see the Wolverines get Jihad Denard going here. Throughout the season, he's been feast or famine, but once he gets his touches, he's doing a really good job at scoring through tough contact. He's not going to start out here for the second quarter, but once he does get back in, try and get him some post touches, let him bang around down there.
But in the meantime, the players right now for Woodland Hills, they need to get things moving, start to make some things happen.
Kyer Hainsworth puts it up, offensive rebound by Timothy Jenkins. Bobbled around, now stays with the Wolverines and Hainsworth. And there's that patented mid-range jumper for Kyer Hainsworth.
Well, that was a nice scrappy play for Woodland Hills. They need more of that, right? Talk on defense, get your hands up. They need more of the scrappiness.
Good help defense there by Velton Kinney, but he comes right back. Nice move by Thomas Dorenzo. He's showing off all of his skill sets tonight.
Well, he has a nice low dribble. Stays low and keeps the ball between the body and the defender.
And throughout this tournament, we've seen teams that have ample amount of basketball ability, but here you're really seeing a Bethel Park team that has mastered the fundamentals.
Absolutely. And on both ends of the floor. Both ends, they're talking, they're rotating on defense, and they're passing and cutting on offense.
And another instance here of miscommunication As a player was going in one direction, the pass went in the other, so a turnover. As you can see here in the early goings, why this team's averaging about 20 turnovers a game. Just very loose with the ball on the offensive side. Bethel Park's going to try another three, this time from the near corner, and here comes Kyer Hainsworth on the run. Going to slow it down instead, get his offense started going against this man-to-man defense as they show him a double team.
Well, I know right now Woodland Hills is doing a pretty good job on the defensive boards. So that was one of the keys from tonight's game.
And if they want to get back into this one, they're going to need to hit those kind of shots. A wide open, give me that layup for Rayshawn Robertson, and just couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, nice baseline drop, but you got to finish.
So the score 22-9 with 6:23 remaining here in the second quarter of play. Bethel Park with possession.
So you have two leading scorers. You don't want to lose sight of them. Like, you should know where they are. Every movement on the floor is players out there defensively. Woodland Hills, if they're pointing, there's 4. I have 24. That's communication. That helps your confidence.
And the cliche statement is hand down, man down, and we see Woodland Hills here on this defensive possession, every player with their hand down to their sides. That's just going to allow those three-point shooters to get the best looks possible.
Absolutely. These guys are not only scorers, but they're not only shooters, they're scorers.
And that's 2 would-be assists by Belton Kinney on missed layups. And now going up high, there's 3 Wolverine players in the same area as they corral that missed layup.
So Coach Virginia may not be excited about too much of his team, but he can be thrilled at the fact that defensively on the offense, on the boards, that they are controlling that.
And then after a miss on the Woodland Hills offensive side, coming right back, Dorenzo, corner 3, high arcing shot, maybe a little bit too much space for him there.
Well, you got the Robinson brothers taking care of the business on the board. Right now, they are dominating the boards.
And there's Raylon Robertson, once again a nice feed, this time by Deontay Murray, gets it inside and feeds the big fella.
Sometimes when the team is lacking energy, half-court press might stir them up and get them moving, because if they don't move, they get scored on.
We've even seen Woodland Hills be pretty effective in a full-court press throughout the season. See if they maybe switch it up 1 or 2 possessions throughout the rest of this first half.
But you need to get a hand up on Dorenzio. Rayshawn Robinson's good stance, but you got to get a hand in Dorenzio's face.
And going for the putback dunk there was Dorenzo off the miss. Another nice defensive rebound by Rayshawn Robertson.
So if I'm looking at Kenny in the corner, he had number 1 for Woodland Hills a few seconds ago. He was literally a spectator with his hands above his head.
And another missed layup there for Raylon Robertson. That's 3 for the Woodland Hills. That should have been 6 points. Put a long, hard thought into that one from three-point range. Decided to give it up as we get a foul called here. And we'll be getting a substitution on both sides. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Wilbanks Consulting Group. Is your athlete struggling to see a career path after graduation? If your child lacks direction, career exploration coaching can help. Career experts at the Wilbanks Consulting Group help your athlete identify their strengths beyond sports for a lifetime of success and career satisfaction. Call 1-833-924-9675 today for your free consultation.
Bethel Park, the players that are on the floor now, they understand who the offense comes through. Everyone's touching the ball, but they do understand who they're looking for the actual shots.
And a little bit disconcerting there on that substitution. Belton Kinney telling his coach to take me out. I'm not sure if he's dealing with an illness or what, but definitely not words you want to be hearing from one of your top scorers. No,
that to me would say mentally there's something that he's more concentrated on off the court than possibly during the course of this game.
So Jihad Denard on the court now. May have got away with the shuffle down there in the corner. The Bethel Park coach wanted it, but he does a good job of adjusting his body in the air and getting it to go.
Yeah, he definitely got away with some extra steps. But, Travis, if they don't call it, you keep playing.
Yep. Woodland Hills brings it back to a single-digit lead now for Bethel Park, 22-13, just a 9-point lead. They've led by 12 at the most.
Like most teams in this tournament, Woodland Hills is not going to just go away too early in the game.
And after that timeout by Coach Verjanik, we've seen them pick up the intensity a little bit. They're still missing a lot of easy shots down there in the paint, but at least they're playing a little bit harder.
And they've got 3 shots on this one possession.
So the young blood, Angelo Reddix, pulls it out, restarts the offense. We get another substitution in Andre Jones, who's been earning more minutes as of lately. Deontay Williams going to jack one up, probably an ill-advised shot in the mind of Coach Verjanik. And no one must have been looking at the ball handler there as he went to pass it with one hand, and that's why you don't pass it with one hand, because you lose your dribble, but luckily getting away with that one.
There's nothing you can do once you try to let it go, and the person you're looking to pass to isn't looking.
Good job going up there by Dorenzo. Lost his glasses on the way up, but a strong rebound getting up high with the left hand.
I tell you what, Dorenzo is long. He doesn't look as long. I mean, I know he's listed at 6'4", but he's very long and stretches that body.
Pretty good jumping ability, too.
Yeah, it's a good timing. Nose for the ball.
And so with 1:44 remaining and an 11-point lead for the Bethel Park Blackhawks, we're going to get another timeout here by the Woodland Hills Wolverines. This timeout is brought to you by Wilson's Night Out. Come to Wilson's Night Out, not just for a night out, but for an experience of Caribbean cuisine. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 with specialty drinks. Looking for that certain room to host parties, meetings, social events, receptions, repasts, and more. Wilson's Night Out is the place to be.
We just had a problem with our scoreboard, so hopefully they'll get that fixed very quickly. Well, we're still on. We're still looking good.
Yeah, we're still looking good up there on the big screen. One of the new installations here at Woodland Hills High School. They put it in this year, and the Roxamore Sports Network taking full advantage of it as they're going to go ahead and fix that.
Right.
And as it lights up, I see a big number, 17 points already for Dorenzo just in this first half.
Yeah,
Young man's having a great performance already.
Literally has.
So Andre Jones pulls it out, gets it to Jihad Denard. Denard trying to get the corner, he will, but just a lack of concentration overall by these Wolverine players when they get in the side on the rim.
Yeah, can't depend on drawing the foul. You play to score, you don't play to wait for the whistle. Good hard drive also.
So Velton Kinney finding his way back into the game now for Woodland Hills. They throw it in, the Reddix gonna pull a three. Short again, 0 for 4 now from the field is Reddix. And make it 0 for 5 as he rushed that one. Bethel Park started out fast, but now wisely slowing down their offense. An 11-point lead as we approach the final minute of play here in the opening half. Gonna put up another one. Coach yelled short, but it's right on the mark for number 13, Anthony Chickett, who we found out before the game, such a great story for this young man.
Yes.
Bats 300 for the baseball team, starting quarterback for the football team, a star here on the basketball team, and also a cancer survivor.
Yes,
so this kid's the real deal.
Yeah, a lot of credit goes to his family and his internal fight, right? I mean, that's a lot of perseverance and a lot of stick-to-itiveness and focus to pull himself out of that dreaded disease of cancer.
Now Velton Kinney in transition steps into a three and nails it. But back to Chickett, that's definitely someone that you just want to have on your team. Someone that you know has been through a lot, but he's a fighter, and you want fighters on your team in the end.
Boosts up morale. I mean, whether he's saying anything or not, just the fact that he's in your presence.
And Chickett hears us over here as he hits a three right in front of us. So 3 threes in a row for both of these teams.
Yeah,
It's a 2-on-1.
threes make coaches excited.
So a little bit of a scoring frenzy as time's ticking down here in the final minute of play of the first half. We're down to 5 now, a long pull and a push for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. He's going to have to put it up. A hoist at the buzzer by Angelo Reddix. Off the mark, so we go into the halftime. The score, the Bethel Park Blackhawks 30 and the Woodland Hills Wolverines 18. We will be right back here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Stay tuned for the Roxamore Sports Network halftime report. The Roxamore Sports Network halftime report. Travis Newton here alongside Karen Hall. And it was a rough first half to start for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. They found a little bit of a groove in the second quarter, though. What did you like whenever they got it going from this Woodland Hills team?
Yeah, they had energy. They were up and down, moving. They were hitting the boards hard, making some good passes, and they were getting good looks. So if they can come out second half and sustain it, well, actually come out second half and start with that same energy that they left this court with, we will see a different second half, a different Woodland Hills team.
And then on the other side, the most consistent thing we've seen all day is this Bethel Park offense. Throughout both quarters, they were just showing a great efficiency. What would be your best advice for Woodland Hills, at least slowing them down a little bit on the offensive side?
Well, they need to find Mice and they need to find Lorenzo. Because offensively, those are the two players who are already in double figures and who are taking most of the shots. So they're not finding them and they're not paying attention. So you got to be aware of where are the scores.
And as a coach, if you have a team where a standout player and a standout scorer really isn't emerging, what are some of the steps you can take to try and at least create a competition, create a battle to get someone to say, hey, I'm the number one on this team?
Yeah, well, defensively, I'm going to find a defender, right, to put in your face so that we both can compete. I'm good, you're good. Well, let's compete on both ends of the floor. And when your teammate sees that, you know what, that's a morale booster. You get a little fired up about it, get more energy about it, and then you start to play different at a higher level. You upgrade your level of play.
All right, so once again, the score 30-18 in favor of the Blackhawks of Bethel Park. We're going to step away once again, and we'll bring you right back for the start of the second half here on the Roxamore Sports Network.
Pardon me, ma'am. My Sound Wireless Delivery, the Line Edition?
Network. Today's game is brought to you by SOAR. They know the rules of the game, but do they know the rules of life? SOAR Youth Empowerment teaches your teen athletes the rule of life. For more information, visit www.soarcoachingacademy.com or call 609-837-7237.
You know, if you need a good law firm in Pittsburgh with proven lawyers, contact Bernard and Ernsberger. If you've had someone in your family suffer a serious injury and the insurance company refuse your claim, you can contact attorney Dan Erzenberger at 412-391-2515.
So we are back here, Roxamore Sports Network, second annual MLK Stop the Violence Showcase. Some of the nation's top basketball talent and teams. So we're getting ready to get things started. The Bethel Park Blackhawks in the black uniforms with the orange lettering, Woodland Hills in the gray uniforms with blue lettering, and it will be Bethel Park's ball to get this second half started. They will be going to the left side of your screen as the clock runs and we get things started. Second half action, Woodland Hills High School.
Well, Woodland Hills comes out in a matchup zone, so we'll see if they could, get a stop early.
Bethel Park, great ball movement coming out of the break.
Not as many turnovers for Woodland Hills, so I'm sure in the locker room, Coach Virginia was pleased about that. And they started to really control the boards defensively.
So now they work it around, get an open three, and another strong rebound by Rayshawn Robertson. Does a good job of high pointing it. They might want to sign him up as a cornerback for the football team.
Oh, for sure, because he definitely took some steps high above the ceiling on that one.
Belton Kinney on the blow-by, puts it up, mid-range jumper, a little bit long, and here comes Bethel Park. Oh, and a beautiful Euro step by Dorenzo, but a smart choice to kick it out as he was a little bit off balance. And slowly we've seen more and more new moves kind of reemerge into the offensive packages of these players. It started with the floater was one that was really being taught whenever I was in high school, and now the Euro step is really starting to emerge once again, and players starting to utilize it.
Well, you see it on television too, so we know that these players today, they look at TV and they come into their own games working to emulate what they watch.
So a really nice possession there for Bethel Park. They work it around, and they will end up getting a foul. Heading to the line will be Ryan Mice. Mice in the first period, just 2 points. The scoring predominantly led by Thomas Dorenzo, who dropped 17. Breakdown from the free throw line on the second there.
Now that's the lack of communication. Two players, same ball, say I got it, and that three doesn't happen.
So Anthony Chickett, his third three-pointer of the game after hitting two with 1 minute left here in the first half. Now 6 minutes and 17 seconds left in the third, and he's still hitting them. As a turnover there, you said they were lessened in the first half, but still prominent, and Woodland Hills starts out this half with two of them.
But I will say that Woodland Hills, their intensity is much better coming out of the locker room than it did coming out of their team circle for the beginning of the game.
Nice head fake, drives baseline, never let up baseline because it opens up for that. Dorenzo unable to capitalize on the three-point attempt, one of his few misses on the day, and here comes Velton Kinney. Kyer Hainsworth having a conversation with the referee. Looks like there might be a wet spot on the court there. He wasn't anticipating that pass.
And you got to talk to the referee while looking at the ball. It's a great pass.
Nice wraparound pass there by
pass.
Kyer Hainsworth, but deflected as Jahad Denard went up for it. Now a left-hand scoop layup won't go as well.
So we got some up and down play, and this is what I think both coaches expected from both teams, because they both were concerned about containing the run on the floor by both teams.
Now Maxwell Blank standing at 6'3", just a sophomore here for Bethel Park. He'll check in for the second time today. It'll be Woodland Hills ball, sideline inbounds. Kyer Hainsworth handling responsibilities as they go in the backcourt to get it to Rayshawn Robertson. We haven't really mentioned Cooper Shoemaker, but he's been doing a great job on the defensive side. It looks to be the tallest player here on the starting lineup for Bethel Park. Hasn't gotten anything going offensively, but he's been a brick wall inside.
Great offensive set, though, Travis. Did you see all the movement? Great offensive set.
And maybe that might be the solution for this Woodland Hills team. Just keep running set offenses, because it showed they're going to be a little stagnant, feet in concrete on regular motion offense. Has another three-point shot by Anthony Chickett. He's showing unlimited confidence as he strokes it from downtown. This timeout break is brought to you by Maggie Jason's Listings. Looking for a realtor to work hard for you? You found her. Maggie Jason's Listings encompass staging, professional photography, information boxes with top-grade promo cards, open houses, and target marketing. To learn more about her featured listings, call 412-999-9528.
You know, Chickett, we talked about him a little earlier, being a quarterback for the Bethel Park football team and beating cancer. You know, his play really reflects, you know, his character. He's quiet, not making a lot of noise, but being able to produce, you know, for his team through three-pointers, through rebounding, just an overall solid player.
And also the confidence he possesses. You can see it come off his fingers, and he already turns around after the shot, almost knowing that it's going to go in. So a young man with a lot of potential, a lot of heart, and a lot of skill on the basketball court.
Yeah, that's also called leadership. Really big on the leadership, because when you're playing with the team, someone has to take lead, and it doesn't need to be the most verbal person.
So it's going to be Woodland Hills ball here. Full court pressure and a run out by Kenny. First time we've seen Bethel Park get into that full court defensive set. Kenny's shot rolls out, knocked out of bounds. We'll stick in with the Wolverines, so we'll be getting a baseline inbounds with Angelo Reddix running to check in.
Yeah, Woodland Hills, they're struggling to put anything down in the basket. They're struggling.
A 17-point lead for the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Inbounded to Rayshawn Robertson and now kicked back out to Kyer Hainsworth. Deontay Williams loses it off the dribble, and now we're going to get numbers for Bethel Park. Chickett pulls it out. The right hand floater good by number 1 and Maxwell Blank.
Yeah, Bethel Park right now, they're getting any shot they want on this floor.
Kick out Angelo Reddix. Scoreless so far, and that one rolls in and out. A nice offensive rebound once again by Rayshawn Robertson, and he's really been the only life to this team in this game.
Well, he's being aggressive on the boards, being able to get a second shot. That's a nice give and go. Didn't finish it, but that was a nice give and go.
Here comes Jihad Denard, going to try and do it by himself. Ball on the ground, really no fight for the Wolverines there, as they're just willing to give it right back to Bethel Park.
And you can see Bethel Park, they just come down. They're not walking it up, but they're being deliberate and patient in creating an offense.
Now in the game for Bethel Park, Mark Gerard wearing 00 and Jason Nutridge. Both of them getting their first playing time of the game tonight.
So the execution of both teams looks very different. You have Woodland Hills where you're shooting and pretty much a one and done or a turnover. And then you have on the other end with Bethel Park, passes, cuts, back screens, and they're actually scoring. Big difference in execution.
And we just saw there a baseline drive by Kyer Hainsworth, and the rest of his teammates just standing around. That's the perfect opportunity to dive right into that paint area and get an open shot, but instead just standing around the perimeter waiting to get their three-point opportunities, and it's really restricting this offense.
Yeah, and they're battling and fighting really hard for whatever they can get on the offensive end. Rebounds aren't really coming that easy on the offensive end for these Wolverines.
So Chickett redirecting this Blackhawks offense.
And if you look, the two leading scorers on Bethel Park, they're on the bench right now.
And they're continuing to dominate Woodland Hills here, so it goes to show the depth and the real team mentality that's established with this Bethel Park team.
And that's what we're looking at, because they're standing, getting caught. That was that was a good shot. They got a score, but that literally was a travel. You know, he didn't really contain himself and get set to make that pass. He wanted to finish that.
So a couple made buckets in a row, and now a timeout for Bethel Park. This timeout's brought to you by Assure America. Insurance comes with a lot of questions. Assure America has the answers. Assure America can help protect your property, business, vehicles, and home. Be sure with Assure America. Go to AssureAmerica.com or call 412-489-5838. We'd also like to thank the Hill District Federal Credit Union for becoming a sponsor on the Roxamore Sports Network. The Hill District Federal Credit Union has serviced the community for almost 50 years. Our purpose is to improve the financial health of our members so that we are not just surviving but thriving. For more information on how to become a member, please stop in at 2021 Center Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or call 412-281-0822.
Travis, while we were thanking our sponsors, we did like the fact that Woodland Hills came out in a full court trapping press. However, we talked about the drill versus the pass. Well, the Bethel Park was very efficient in making passes and were rewarded with an easy layup on the other end.
And Angelo Reddick's out of control there as he attacked the rim. Chickett coming down in the follow slam out of nowhere for number 15, coming off the bench and getting a big-time play by Dolan Waldo, the 6'4 sophomore, rising above the rim and taking it home.
That was a ooh-ah, but a nice soft dunk down.
It was, but for a sophomore, we'll take the dunk.
We'll definitely take it. He'll have that on highlight for tonight.
Oh, he will. You'll see it on his huddle profile next thing tomorrow.
For sure. Might have been some contact down low, but I'm just calling the game.
Good hustle there by Deontay Williams. Probably would have been better off letting it go as now Bethel Park has numbers. Jeremy Thomas approaching to check in. Confident stroke there by Chickett, in and out. And now slapped out of bounds. Possession goes to Woodland Hills.
One thing that's becoming a factor is Bethel Park's size. And they're really starting to dominate Woodland Hills on both ends of the floor on the boards.
So under a minute here in the third period of play, what has been a quickly moving game from Woodland Hills High School as we approach the nightcap with Bishop Walsh High School taking on the Carolina Basketball Academy. And the Carolina Basketball Academy actually playing their second game of the day. I spoke with their coach after the first one, and I said, what's your message going to be to your team? And he said, they all play AAU. They're used to playing 4 games in a day. This isn't anything. So I like that mentality. And basketball players want to play basketball.
Exactly. You know, they came to Pittsburgh to play. So why not let them do exactly what they love to do?
So Velton Kinney will check back in, looking to create an offensive spark for this team. Kinney just with 5 points thus far, is no one on the court for Woodland Hills right now in double-digit scoring. And I believe there's not anyone on the roster right now that's in double digits. So Kyrie Hainsworth now manning the offense, gets it to Deontay Williams. Rayshawn Robertson, nice step through. Velton Kinney, 3. Buries it from the corner.
So if Rayshawn Robertson's energy can rub off on maybe one other teammate, perhaps they can at least make their struggles look a little better.
And on the other side, Blank answering with the 3 of his own, the half-court heave off the mark. So the score, 46-29, as we head for the start of the fourth quarter. We'd like to thank the Wilbanks Consulting Group. Is your athlete struggling to see a career path after graduation? If your child lacks direction, Career Exploration Coaching can help. Career experts at the Wilbanks Consulting Group help your athlete identify their strengths beyond sports for a lifetime of success and career satisfaction. Call 1-833-924-9675 for your free consultation and tell them you heard about them on the Roxamore Sports Network.
Yeah, we also like to thank the Cagers Customs Artwork. Get your custom logos and artwork done for your home or business with Cagers Custom Artwork. You can find them on Facebook at Cliff Cager or give them a call at 412-915-6873.
So we count down here to the final quarter of play. Woodland Hills High School 2020 MLK Stand Against Violence Showcase. Woodland Hills, the host team, they started out perfect, but it doesn't look like they'll find the same result tonight against Bethel Park, just being outmanned.
No, I did like how Jeremy Thomas, number 15 for Woodland Hills, coming out on the court saying, hey guys, let's go. We're good. So a little motivation from your teammate.
See if Velton Kinney can hit another one. felt good off the hands, but he wasn't happy with the result.
And again, just one shot for the Wolverines.
I'm sure they wish they could take the intensity that they have on the defensive boards and bring it to the offensive side to try and create some more opportunities. But so far, Bethel Park doing a great job of boxing out on the defensive side. Kyer Hainsworth, buttery on that mid-range jumper. Once again, that's his spot right around the elbows, even down a little bit towards the baseline.
Yeah, no problem breaking that press. It seemingly want to be a little harder, but you don't have players reacting before the ball's passed.
Taking it inside, lost control. Good team defense there by the Wolverines. Deontay Williams going 1-on-2, knocked away and out of bounds. Possession 6 with Woodland Hills.
That was aggressive. I mean, you have nothing to lose at this point. You need something to fire up your teammate. You need something to get your teammates' heads back in the game to compete.
Kyer Hainsworth trying to wake up his team, and he does. Usually not a three-point shooter, but why not here? Down
Right.
46-34.
You got a whole quarter to go. You got to play with some energy, some urgency, and you can't leave people wide open. And luckily they got away with it. The foul wasn't called on that play.
Oh, it wasn't a foul on that one.
No? Oh, boy.
Rayshawn Robertson showing some toughness there, met him at the backboard and pinned it. But, yeah, there was a foul.
Yeah, there was a foul.
There was a foul.
But there's been a lot of fouls that haven't been called tonight, so what's another?
Well, they can't get them all, so.
They haven't been.
So Bethel Park, good ball movement from outside to inside, now back out.
A lot of give and goes from Bethel Park, pass it and cut down to the lane. Good steal.
Forced the issue there. Now comes Velton Kinney one-on-one. Now it gets it to Robinson. Robertson had a nice look at it. Couldn't finish, but it's going to get a chance from the free throw line.
I definitely like the pass. Kenny pulled the defense to him and did a nice drop pass to Robertson.
So a 12-point lead here for Bethel Park. And a little bit of life for the Wolverines, and they're making this within a manageable game with 6:15 left. Just an 11-point lead now after the made free throw.
At some point, pride has to kick in. You're at home. This is really your tournament. You have your home fans pulling for you. You got to wake up.
Karen, I'd also like to point it out as we look at the scoreboard there. This, the mascot for this team, it's a very sad-looking bird for what's supposed to be a very aggressive black hawk. If you look at it closely, it's a very sad-looking bird. Not very fitting of what you're going for in a school mascot.
No, you want to have some ferociousness, have a ferocious look to it.
Wolverine busting out of the wall here at Woodland Hills High School.
That's better pressure. Face guard, make them fight through you, almost get a turnover.
And
there
now
you have it.
Here comes
All by
Rayshawn
himself.
Robertson. See him elevate. Goes up with one hand and stuffs it away. Rayshawn Robertson. And some life here in the gym at Woodland Hills High School.
There's another turnover. Now capitalize, and there you have it. Nice pull up.
And now, just like that, the Woodland Hills Wolverines right back in it. We have a 6-point game after 2 straight buckets by Woodland Hills.
Well, we knew they wouldn't go away. It was just a matter of time, but you got to keep playing.
And that was a dangerous steal attempt there. Got him out of position in a wide-open 3 for Bethel Park, but unable to capitalize.
Now, keep the energy high. Get another stop. Get a deflection. A missed shot and a rebound. It's a game again, Travis.
So Bethel Park going to slow it down, and Coach Verjanik thought that ball touched the line on the sideline. He looks at me like it did hit the line, and now Bethel Park, they're going to slow it down after they took that punch by Woodland Hills.
Well, putting Thomas on Mice is a mismatch. You need to make that change. I love Thomas on the line, but out front at the free throw line against a quicker player, that's not going to work too well.
It looks like they're going to get him out of here right now. Jihad coming in fresh, getting Jeremy Thomas, who's put in some great work in those few possessions for Woodland Hills.
And he infused his team. By getting some rebounds and just say, hey, let's get after it.
So some breath in the lungs of this Woodland Hills team as they have come alive here in the fourth quarter, 4:50 remaining in a 6-point game and a chance to make it 4 with Jihad Denard at the line.
Got to keep the energy up. Like, I'm still talking about how lethargic, how slow the Woodland Hills players are moving in between whistles. You got to move, get some flair, get some energy. Where's that pep in your step? We call it swag today, right?
Swag.
Where's the swag?
Swagger's supposed to be on 100. It's at about 72 right now.
That's hot. Nice. You're very, very generous. Very generous.
At the beginning of the game is about at 30. So, so some improvements throughout the game.
Good point. And also, they were pressing earlier that was ineffective because they were not moving. Now we're watching them all over the floor, finding the ball all over the court.
Good job getting back by Woodland Hills after initial numbers on the press break. And Rayshawn Robertson's got to be careful. He was getting in on the body, and Coach Vrjanek wanting a double dribble. Won't get it. It's a foul away from the hoop, and a sideline inbounds ensuing for Bethel Park.
Wow, that was a possible turnover. That could have been a big difference.
And a great job there by Jihad Denard, settling down and hitting 2 big free throws to get this within 4 points. Now move it to 6 after the nice spin and shot by Thomas Dorenzo, who's been quiet after scoring 17 in the first half.
Yeah, there was a little containment with Gerard.
So Kyrie Hainsworth going to try another one, feeling good after hitting a 3.
Coach Vrjanek talking about the shot selection.
Yeah, and we've heard that one before. Is poor defense there, allowing the baseline drive, leaving his feet.
Well, especially when you fought your way back into the game. You're only down 6, you got 4 minutes to play, and you've been containing up until the last 2 possessions. There's leading scorers.
And that momentum slowly starting to deflate here from the Woodland Hills team. The lead back up to 8 after getting it within 4. Rayshawn Robertson wanting it inside. Now Velton Kinney pulls a 3.
Yeah, poor shot selection for the Wolverines the last 2 possessions. They were down 6, now they're down 8, and it was a result of 1 pass and 1 shot.
Let's see if Woodland Hills can get a stop on the defensive side. As I speak, a shot put up, wide open 3-pointer, but a nice rebound by Robertson.
Boy, they were fortunate there as Mice had a wide open look.
We're going to get a foul on the floor before the shot. Good job there by forcing the issue by Kyrie Hainsworth, needing a little bit of life here in this game after he had those Woodland Hills fans on their feet, but now back to their seats with the 8-point lead by Bethel Park and 3:14 remaining.
We'd like to thank Wilson's Night Out for sponsoring this MLK Tournament. Come on to Wilson's Night Out, not just for a night out, but for an experience of Caribbean cuisine happy hour, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Specialty drinks are available. Looking for more certain rooms for a host party or meetings or social event. Contact Wilson's Night Out for a great experience.
And once again, just too easy. Bethel Park starting to figure out this full court press for Woodland Hills and convert those mishaps into easy layups. So the lead back up to 10, 52-42.
Yeah, but I'm going to say, Woodland Hills, they had gained a lot of momentum. They put the press on. They were effective in their press. They were getting scores. They were stopping down on the defensive end. And then 2 shot selections right now is the difference between maybe a 1-point game and a 10, 12-point game. It's a difference.
And to that point, sometimes it's hard to talk about shot selection when players that are taking shots that you usually don't want them to take, but they're hitting them, and it's one of those situations where you're like, no, 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 okay.
But I agree with you, but there's a flow to a game. And Woodland Hills was in a great defensive flow, and they were scoring on the offensive end by attacking the basket. And they settled for 2 3-point, ill-advised 3-point shots because the defense was on them, and they had no one underneath for the rebound.
Let's see if this team meeting by Coach Vrjanek can get his team back on the right mark once again. Definitely talking to Kyrie Hainsworth about that deep ill-advised 3 he took earlier. We've heard throughout the season Coach Vrjanek tell Kyrie Hainsworth, that's not your shot, you're a mid-range jump shooter, and still he likes to take them every once in a while.
It's hard to convince some players at times.
Just blame Steph Curry.
Yeah, exactly, we do. They still have plenty of time to pull back and get this game back in reach.
Let's see if they can get a post touch here for Jihad Denard. He's been going strong at it all day. Deontay Murray probably had Jihad Denard with the help defense coming over, but chose to take it himself.
And if you look at the offense of Bethel Park, they have the defense stretched, which leaves the paint wide open.
They do, and very under control in their passes. A lot of sharp passes, getting it across the perimeter. And really, like you mentioned, pulling out that Woodland Hills defense. And we saw that in the previous game, the issue of a team wanting to hold the ball out and waste a lot of time. And then once you do pull out defenders, it really opens up your defense and really extends those lanes for offensive players.
Absolutely. But I am so convinced that at the high school level, it's very difficult to hold the ball for a minute or more. It's just difficult. That's discipline, and you got to really practice that with repetition.
You do, and we've seen that multiple times now along the confines of this weekend from math, civics, and sciences. A lot of people don't disagree with it. They think it's not good basketball, and I even heard some people say, this is a tournament that means nothing. Why are you holding the ball? But if a team wants to get a win, I believe they have every right to do whatever it takes to get a win.
Well, that's why it's called coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at the flow of the game, the time on the clock, and how is your team playing? You know, you can't hold the ball if your team is scatterbrained and the ball is going all over. But if you know the personality of your team, in these situations, you trust your team to be able to do what you need them to do to get the win.
And, of course, we saw the thrilling end to that one as Nassim Poplar hit the three-point shot as the buzzer sounded. If you'd like, you can go back on the Roxamore Sports Network Facebook page and watch the previously recorded version of that broadcast to catch the call there at the very end moments from that game, and what was a great one with math, civics, and science defeating the National Christian Eagles.
Well, I think if Woodland Hills plays with this type of energy early in the first quarter, even maybe slacking off, but picking it up again at the end of the second.
It's a totally
different game.
And now Woodland Hills, with just over a minute left, going to have to play the trading foul shots game here with Bethel Park.
You know, coaches change lineups all the time, but the change in lineup cannot totally affect the mentality of your team. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to play, but that's the coach's right to make changes.
So Woodland Hills still have 2 fouls to give.
Foul goes on the Wolverines, number 1, Velton Kennedy.
So one more foul now before they enter the bonus, 7 at the high school level. And now Blank checking back into the game. Now, if I was Woodland Hills here, I'd like to see Rayshawn Robertson leave the ball. I understand getting some pressure on the ball, but go find that person that you think is most likely to get the ball and double team and make it a little bit harder to get that ball in.
Have you coached before, Travis?
I have not coached,
but
I've been on some well-coached teams. So.
That sounded pretty good there.
All I know is 2 is better than 1.
Always.
So if you can pull that defender off, I get it. And if you have a player that's like 7 foot, go ahead and throw him on the ball, make it a hard distraction for that inbounder. But standing at, 6'2" for Robertson, go ahead and pull him off and double team who you think is going to get the ball.
Yes.
And a sloppy one-handed pass there. Fortunate are the Wolverines to get that back. So we're officially under a minute, a 9-point lead for Bethel Park, 53-44, led by Thomas Dorenzo, as Robertson jacks up a 3 off front iron, rebound Dorenzo, and a foul.
It may be a 9-point lead, but the feeling of a game is a larger margin from Bethel Park. I mean, Woodland Hills did a good job in fighting back late or earlier in this quarter, but then seemingly their balloon got popped. And again, all the air came out, and Bethel Park just dominated as they did throughout the first half.
So Thomas Dorenzo, he's already dropped 21. Gets a chance to add 2 more here from the charity stripe. and unable to convert, so that will run the clock as Woodland Hills comes back down and tries to get some points late. Nice no-look pass. Kyer Hainsworth buries the three, and he's making a case in front of his coach, Matt Furjanic, that maybe that is his shot. As Bethel Park comes fast on the run, and they're going to get an easy one, just throwing the Hail Mary down the court.
Yeah, I mean, they're still playing to the end. Get some good looks. At least leave the court feeling respectable about how you finished the game.
Hainsworth unable to hit that one, and Coach Furjanic officially pulling off the dog, saying no foul. As the final seconds will tick down here from Woodland Hills High School, we'd like to remind you that there's still one game left with the Carolina Basketball Academy and Bishop Walsh Catholic Spartans. Travis Newton alongside Karen Hall. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with interviews after the game. The final score, Bethel Park 55, Woodland Hills 47. We'll see you after the break.
Here we go. Now when it's game time, I'm in my own zone. I'm in my own zone. I'm in my own zone. Now when it's game time, I'm in my own zone. I'm in my own zone. I'm in my own zone. I said game time is go time. Ready for the world premiere, we can call it showtime. Time is ticking down, so we set to go and blow mine. Roxamore and hit hard, put them both together. What you got? Call it gold. Big money. Go hard every day. This game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Travis Newton here on the Roxamore Sports Network with Thomas Dorenzo, the leading scorer tonight for the Bethel Park Blackhawks, putting up 21. Thomas, you came out hot throughout. What was your offensive mindset coming into tonight's game?
I just wanted to be aggressive. We knew they were really athletic, so just early we wanted to try to get to the hoop, and then we thought that could kind of open everything up.
And a little bit of a push late by the Woodland Hills Wolverines. What was your coach's message, and how did your team respond coming out that break?
We just wanted to stay composed and keep on moving the ball and try to get easy layups, because they were trapping us all over. So we just want to keep on moving the ball, see if we can get anything easy. And I think we did late in the game.
All right, well, Thomas, good game tonight, and good luck for you guys the rest of the season. We'll be right back with an interview from Karen Hall with the Bethel Park head coach in just a few seconds here on the Roxamore Sports Network.
Coach Bears, congratulations on an impressive win. Can you talk about how did you get your team to play that discipline?
We've been working a lot of, we're a very good shooting team from the perimeter. So teams have found that out, so they're really trying to take away our perimeter game. So we've really been working a lot on spacing and back screen concepts, trying to take advantage of pressure out on our shooters, trying to get more stuff to the rim and make easier opportunities when the perimeter game isn't there. So it really helps when we shoot the ball good in the first quarter. It opens up that inside game a little bit more when teams got to come out on us.
So seemingly you practice three-pointers. I know you have two other leading scorers in Western Pennsylvania on your team. So is the three-point line something that is a point of emphasis in practice?
Yeah, absolutely. And, the nice thing, too, is with Ryan Mice and Tommy Dorenzo, the way they shoot it, the way they score it, to have that guy like Anthony Chickett who came out and made 4 threes, I think, in the first half tonight, to have that third option, it's really tough for teams to take any of those guys away. And then Ron Zeiler hit one early, and Cooper Shoemaker did the job inside, setting screens to free those guys up. It's nice when you get a cohesive unit to work together like that.
So how hard is it, or how easy is it to get your team to buy into that? If we all play together, we can play a near perfect game like you did tonight.
I'll be real honest with you. With this group, it's pretty easy. That can be a challenge year to year. And that's one of the things about coaching. Every team is a different animal. But we start 5 seniors, and they are as unselfish as they come. I mean, honestly, they don't care if individually they're shut out. You know, as long as we get the win and have fun doing it. They're just a really tight-knit group, really don't care who gets the credit. It's amazing what you can accomplish when no one cares who gets the credit.
All right, Coach Bears, thank you. Congratulations on your win, and good luck as you get back into the WPIL.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
You're sure welcome. Karen Hall on Roxamore Sports from MLK here in Pittsburgh, Woodland Hills High School.